You're listening to Crosstalk on VCY America. We're speaking today with Usama Dakdok, who is a Muslim evangelism specialist. He is the president or the director of the Straight Way of Grace Ministry, and it certainly makes it his mission to go about and to inform, equipping Christians to be effective witnesses of Christ to their Muslim neighbors, as well as ministering to Muslims directly. And for those of you in southeast Wisconsin, Usama is going to be our guest this Saturday night at the Waukesha Expo, and speaking on the topic, Revealing the Truth About Islam. It's a presentation you need to hear Saturday night, 7 Central. For those of you across the miles, we will be broadcasting this over the VCY American Network. It is available to our affiliates at 7 Central Time, and certainly we would encourage local stations to carry this presentation. Usama, you mentioned that you desire for people to actually read the Koran. You have done a exact translation into English and put together a special book on this. Tell us about it.
Well, it's been a good 8 years ago when we start really getting into the Quran and teaching from the Quran. I have a hard time to find any English translation, because all the verses I'm trying to get American people to read and know in the Quran were all in all this English translation. There's 20, I believe, English translation out in the market, which are made by Muslim, which or you call moderate Muslim. I'm sorry, they are deceiver Muslim, and they literally twist and sugar-coated and water down all these verses of the Quran. When you read them in English, you're already reading. It's like you're reading another book. You're not reading the Quran. So the message I tried to get the American people to read in this English translation is not there, because they fixed it. And I said, wait a minute, we cannot do this. We cannot continue to do this. I remember meeting with Dr. Moody Adam 6 years ago, and he said, Usama, you must translate the Quran. And that's when we started. It took me 4 years with a lot of help of so many Christian ex-Muslim scholars who knows exactly and who helped me a lot. And I appreciate everyone who have given me a hand to help me. We were able to put the Quran to a true English translation. And it is the only hope for America to wake up. It is the only answer to stop Islamization of Islam. Islamization of America is presenting Islam in this beautiful picture to the American people. We can't stop this simply by reading the Quran. Notice, my dear brothers, that all over our media, all over the TV, Big Shot, all Fox and CNN and CBS, all this famous TV station, liberal or conservative, like Republican, like the conservative one, which is Fox News, none of these people quote the Quran. None of these people read a verse. I've been watching Fox now for almost 10 years in America, and I never heard one person open his lips and read one verse from the Quran. Can you imagine that with me? Not one verse. What's so magic about the Quran? Why can't we read it? Why can't we understand it? Why can't we look and dig into it to understand Islam? We just have to take the word of the Muslim Imam who come and tell us, we believe in Jesus, and we believe in Christianity, we believe in Moses, and we believe in Judaism, and we all worship one God, the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Big liar and big lie from Satan, from hell. So it's time for American people to open the Quran and read. Read about Abraham, read about Jesus, read about Moses, read about Adam. None of the stories of the Quran taken out of the Bible is even close to the truth. Quran is a dumb, and I say it again, dumb counterfeit to the Bible. Not historically, all the number of error in the Quran, it makes the person not laugh, make cry. It make me cry when I read the Quran with its interpretation by Muslim scholars like Ibn Kathir or Tabari or Qurtubi or Jalain. How in the world there are millions, there are 1,300,000,000 Muslims right now are victim of the lies and the deception of the Quran and Islam. We need to reach out to the Muslim world and tell them about the love of Christ. And sadly, we're not doing this because we have not realized yet there is 1.3 billion Muslims are dying and going to hell because we have no clue what these people believe.
And folks, you can obtain a copy of their accurate English translation of the Quran. It includes study notes for the reader. It points out errors and contradictions, comparisons with biblical accounts. It points to the original sources, a table of Bible prophecies about Jesus. There's a gospel invitation. And Usama will have a quantity of these for those who attend the rally, but for those listening across the miles today by way of radio, Usama, they can obtain this right through your website, correct?
It's very simple, thestraightway.org, and you can just follow the steps there, and you'll be able to get it within 4 or 5 days, I believe so.
Folks, again, that's thestraightway.org, thestraightway.org. That's an interesting name, Usama. How did you come up with the Straight Way?
It's actually come from 2 verses. The first verse is the Quran, Muslim people, in chapter 1, verse 6, they pray, guide us or lead us to the straight way. And I believe they are victim of so much lies. They think that they are in the straight way. And obviously the answer of their prayer is in John 14:6, when Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. So the prayer of Muslim people can be easy answered if they just look at Jesus, for he is the straight way.
Now, you've given us just a sketch of Islam, its dangers, its false teachings, the plan and the desire of certainly to see Jews and Christians killed. Why is it then that liberals in the West are and people in the West are so enamored with Islam? I mean, I understand Tony Blair's sister-in-law just converted to Islam, and apparently that's considered the up-and-coming thing to do.
Blair's sister, I'm sorry, she is a Muslim because she was born for a Muslim daddy, and that's over. I mean, she just now acknowledges the world that she became a Muslim after 10 years after September 11. Here, what is new? What new have came to her heart or mind or soul about Islam? What is new about Islam she did not know about the last 9 years? The killing, the 45,000 Christian and non-Muslim were killed by the Muslims the last 9 years. Is this help her to really accept Islam and believe in it with all her heart? This is the level of ignorancy. This is the level of foolishness. This is the level of stupidity. She is a Muslim because she was born from a Muslim daddy, and obviously her accepting Islam lately is a joke. It's literally that tell you here is a Muslim, here is a person becoming a Muslim or confessing to be Muslim worldwide without having a clue what Islam is, and I can show you in the same time few million Muslim Arab from all over the Middle East who become a Christian just the last 7-8 years. I mean, we're talking about millions of Muslims leaving Islam who know what the Quran teaches. Those the one who can read the Quran, actually so many of them memorize the Quran. Imams, leaders of mosque, doctors in universities, Muslim university, are becoming a Christian, and some ignorant British cannot read 2 words in Arabic becoming a Muslim. Lord have mercy.
How can they ignore the human rights issues going on?
It's just very simple. It's not knowing what the truth about Islam. You know, it's amazing. Like we're talking about Sharia a few minutes ago, and here is a good point I'd like to share with your audience, that people think, well, these things happen in the Muslim world, in the countries who practice Islamic law, Sharia Islamiyah. They're not really Islam. They're culture. Excuse me. Says who? Well, then you can hear somebody like Sean Hannity, and I like the man, I love the man, appreciate his what he's doing. But when he talk about Islam, when he talk about Islamic law, he is 100% ignorant. He does not know anything about what he's talking. He would say, we love Muslim. We do not have any problem for Muslim to live in America. We have no problem with good Muslim. What is good Muslim? And then he said, but we have a problem with Sharia Islamic law. Excuse me. Sharia Islamic law is the Quran. Then he gets somebody on his TV show, which you may call moderate Muslim. I call them deceiver Muslim. And they will say, oh, cutting of the hand is deceive. It is not Islam, because the Quran does not teach this. This is culture. I say, excuse me, let's open the Quran, chapter 5, verse 38. What does the Quran say? As for the male slave and the female slave, so cut their hands as reward from Allah. So the cutting of the hand of the slave, after all, is the Sharia, the Islamic law. It's not culture. It is Islam. How about stoning women who commit adultery? How about stoning those or killing those who leave Islam? Honor killing. Oh, that's not Islam. That's not Islam. This is culture. Have nothing to do with Islam. I'm sorry. That is Quran, chapter 6, verse 151. And the interpretation, the blood of the Muslim cannot be shed except in 3 cases: murder, adultery, and apostation. Anyone leave Islam must be put to death. Any person who commit adultery must be put to death. Anybody who kill another Muslim must be put to death. So that is Islam, that is Quran. How about 9-5, which is the ultimate goal? American. Someday, if they practice Sharia Islamic law in America, hear me, America, here's the 3 options you will have when Muslims take over America. Number 1, to be killed. Number 2, to become slave. Number 3, to become Muslim. Which one of the 3 choices America like to have? And that is chapter 9, verse 5, the final word of Allah. And so we do not know what's in the Quran. We do not know what's in the Islam. We don't know what is Sharia. And you hear so many people talk like Imam Faisal Abdul Rauf, and he talk about Sharia, Islamic law, and the Constitution of America are like wonderful two things that they fit with each other. We have the same belief of the American culture, of the American Constitution. Really? You mean freedom of religion exists in your Quran, in your Sharia, in your Islam? So why you kill Muslims who leave Islam and become something else?
Mm-hmm.
Or why you cut the hand of the thief? I mean, and we were doing a debate 2 weeks ago with Engine, or whatever this guy is from England, the big guy who exists in Europe. And I debated him on ABN TV station, and I literally could not get him to answer a simple question. I said, if I stole $10 from your pocket, what is the punishment? He does not want to say cutting his hand because that exposes the lies that this is culture. That is Islam. Mm-hmm. And then I said, if I steal $1,000, if I steal $1 million, if I steal $100 million, see, there is no justice in Sharia. A person who steals $1 will be punished equal to the person who will steal $100 million. Both the punishment is cutting the hand. And it is not culture. It is Quran teaching. All what we need to do is read the Quran. And the proof is, you go to Egypt today, and there's Christian family next to a Jewish family, next to a Muslim family. Any of these three family daughter commit adultery. The Muslim will kill their daughter, but the Christian and the Jew will not touch their daughter, will not kill their daughter. They will still love on her and take care of the baby when the baby comes to life. So obviously it's not culture. It is Islam. It is Quran. It is Sharia. It is Islamic law.
Usama, what is it, and I know time is short here, but what do Christians need to know about witnessing to Muslims here in the West? I mean, how can they faithfully share the gospel? What's important for them to know?
First of all, Christ commanded us to go to the end of the world. Christ commanded us to go to Saudi Arabia and tell the Saudi about Jesus Christ. So we're supposed to share the gospel with Muslims because it's a command. It's an order from our Lord and our Savior. So we cannot really say, well, we don't. That's number one. Number two, literally, if the more we know about Islam, the scary will become. I mean, I can literally scare the American people, take their life out of their life until they start sharing the gospel with everybody. Because if they know what the Muslims are doing in America and what is their goal, they are taking over our country. And the reason is because we don't know anything about them and we're not reaching out to them. There are so many Muslims who will come to Christ if we share the love with them, the love of God with them, because simply there are billions, 1,100,000,000 right now, I'm guessing roughly 90% or so Muslim who never read the Quran, who never know the truth about Islam. If we know the truth about Islam and share the truth about Islam, the truth about the Quran with the Muslim, not the gospel of Jesus Christ, not the teaching of the gospel, the good news that Jesus died and rose again. But if we know the truth about the Quran and share it with the Muslim, believe it or not, many Muslims will leave Islam. And if we share the gospel with them, they will become a Christian. And it's a long progress because we don't know anything about anything. And and sometimes I go to church and I speak on Sunday morning, Sunday night, and the pastor and the people in the church expect in the end of the day they will be well equipped to share the gospel with Muslims. Obviously they're not, because it's a long program. We have to get into learn and study, and then we'll be able to reach out to them with the truth of Jesus.
Usama Dakdok is our guest here today, and we're going to open our phone lines to have you have opportunity to call and ask questions of Usama. If you have questions about Islam, now's the time to do so. Our number 800-733-9829, 800-733-9829. Again, we would encourage those within driving distance here to Southeast Wisconsin to come out to the Waukesha Expo this Saturday night, 7 p.m. it starts. We're advising that you arrive early. Doors do open at 6 o'clock. And he will be presenting his presentation, Revealing the Truth About Islam, a PowerPoint presentation that we know will be very, very impactful. We're going to take a quick break, come back to your phone calls here. Again, our number 800-733-9829. You're listening to Crosstalk on the VCY America Network.
Deet Eamon was a young Christian woman who joined the Christian resistance movement in the Netherlands during World War II. Together with their fiancé and other Dutch men and women, they risked their lives to save the lives of Jews who were in danger of becoming victims of Hitler's final solution. Her story is documented in the book Things We Couldn't Say, which portray her dramatic account of the Christian resistance in Holland. Deet faced extreme danger and often unbearable circumstances and loss. Her own fiancé was arrested and sent to a concentration camp. This story helps us remember a time in history that should not be forgotten, as it recounts the power and grace of God in such trying circumstances. To obtain your copy of Things We Couldn't Say, send a donation of $18 or more to VCY America, 3434 West Kilbourne Avenue, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53208. To donate by phone, call 1-800-729-9829, 1-800-729-9829.